Honey, what are you gonna make today for us?
Mini apple pies. Try to recreate it. I've never done it before, so let's try and see what happens. And of course I'm using my favorite apple, the Fuji apple, sweetest, crunchiest apple there is. Just kind of core and slice these apples, and I'm going to make them really nice and small, and then I'm going to mix them together, and should kind of make a nice little filling concoction. Core the apples. What you then do is you're going to slice them up, and since these are going to go in a little pie, I wanted to cut them up kind of small, so what I just do is basically you just kind of slice them all up. And what I did was, since you don't want apples to get brown, what we did was we put a little bit of lemon juice in the bowl, so that way we kind of keep them nice and fresh and they don't get too dirty. Okay, so I finally have everything all cut up, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in some brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of honey, probably about 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and then the rest probably 1/4 cup of everything else, or a little bit, just kind of to see how it goes. Mix it all up, and then I'm going to throw it in and saute it with the apples and a little bit of butter, and then kind of let it cook it up, and then let it cool before I start doing the pastry shells. Here, I'm mixing basically all the stuff, the butter and all that tastiness all together to kind of make like a little bit of a spread, and then I'm going to basically from there put it into my nice bunch of apples all cut up and nice, and I'm going to kind of cook it all together for a little bit, and then from there you can kind of see a little bit of an idea of what it's gonna, you'll see at the end what it's gonna look like once you start cooking all the butter and the cinnamon and the nutmeg and the honey and all that stuff, mixing all together. Tasty. Okay, so my apple pie filling is nice and cool. I bought this wonderful Goya empanadas because they're like little doughs already made. And what you're basically gonna try to do is I'm gonna you pat a little flour down, kind of like flour it, put about a spoonful of the filling, and then you're gonna, before you do that, you're gonna put a little bit of water around the edge of it, and you're gonna close it up so it looks like something like this. Okay, so here's how you do it. You grab a little bit of water and you go all the way around it. Okay, and you go into this wonderful apple pie filling, which I happen to put a little too much every single time I've done this so far. And you put a little bit in, about a teaspoon, and you can't think, doesn't look really, it looks like it's that much, but when you, as I've learned that when you fold it over, you're doing like a halfsie. So you go in there and you do that, and then you, with your fork, you grab it and you kind of do it empanada style, and you kind of close it up so it's kind of like its own little seal with it, like that, and you get a nice little empanada. And then what I'm probably going to do is, because I'm gluttonous like that, put a little bit of butter, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit more brown sugar. I'm going to brush it on top, so when it cooks it has like a little extra flavor to it. So we'll keep on doing that until you get all of them done, or until you have no more, pan little empanada crusts, and then the rest you basically can store and make it with a hot sundae. Delicious. Okay, so for the finishing touch, what I did was I put a little bit of butter, a little bit of brown sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon, melted it all together, mixed it up, and I just kind of now brushed it lightly on there, and I'm going to put it in for the oven for about 15 minutes at 350, and we'll see what happens. So in the end, I took them out about 20 minutes at 350. Finally probably let it cool off for about 15 minutes or so. Okay, here's my, not really my first bite, but my second bite. It's not bad. Kristen says you should put a little bit of egg on it so it kind of toasts up a little bit better, but it's not a bad little dessert. Hope you try it.